here with a new part in the painting tutorial of the Rippa. So Rippa's Snarlfang, so this is in reality Rippa. He is the leader of the unit. And in this second part we are going to paint the rider of the miniature, right? We did the wolf. If you want to know how the wolf was done, you can see the video, the first part. And in this second part we are going to focus on the rider itself. So we are going to go for, I will go for a yellow orange cape as well, these things to match with the rest. So this will be the color, and the other parts will be leathery, and as I did with the others. So I'm going to start, we'll go back to one of the colors I already used on the wolf, is the contrast Ziegler brown, and we are going to use this for the leather parts that he's wearing. Okay, so we are going to put this, okay. So I'm going to apply this here. Okay. We try not to go out. Try to just apply it in the parts where we need the brown. With contrast paints, you want to be careful not to get out, and to be fair, once you get used to them, it's quite fast to paint with the contrast paints. Okay. Apply it there. I'm going to do this, and as well this bottom part. Okay. So I will apply this in the rest of the parts that I need, and I come back. Okay, next step, I'm going to use warp lining to the skin. Okay, what I'm doing now is I try to block the main colors, and I try to paint. So this warp skin can be quite light. So, but I went for a different skin before. You can also use this one, Quit Camo, okay? But this is much darker, so I wanted to go for a lighter skin tone for this goblin, for the leader. Okay, something that is more bright. Okay, and we are going to apply this on all the skin parts. To be fair, the bottom of the feet is a little bit, yeah, the molding is not that good because it's all the lines too close. Okay. So I'm going to apply this on all the skin parts, and then I will be back for the next step. Next, I'm going to do the bone things, and I will use a skeleton hold on these ones. Okay, this is some bones that are hanging here. Also, there's like some fangs, like this one. In that case, we can go over the strings. This color is quite light, and we will cover it quite easily for the darker brown. Try not to go under the over the wolf. Okay, so we have to be a little bit careful. Okay, this is good. Now I'm going to use, well, we can use it as well to have the first color here on the horns. So we'll take a smaller brush. Control. We can use it here on the horns. This miniature, as I want to use a lot of leather and bronze, and you have to be quite careful which bronze, ochres, twin colors you want to use to have the contrast. Okay. Okay, this should be good. I will do now this part where we have the arrows, and I will use now lead belcher. No, sorry, not lead belcher, snake bite leather. Not lead belcher, snake bite leather. I'm going to use this one on this. We are going to use as well this part here, the main fur, and the tail that is there, okay? So I will do all this with snake bite leather. Too much. The arrows I will use a lighter color that I have done for the arrows on the other one. Okay, I will change to a bigger brush and I will do tail he has here and the this thing. Okay, you can see that you have very nice color there. Contrast paints are great if you want to do tabletop painting as well, because very fast, with a very fast job, you can have a very nice finishing that will look great on the table. You can see I'm just applying now the contrast paints, and you can see that we have already quite a good shading, highlights, so everything at once. I think it has been a nice decision for Games Workshop. I think it's a quite interesting product. I'm enjoying using it, and I think it helps a lot for me to do the paint job. Okay, it allows me to go a little bit faster. Okay, so I do know this tail here, and we're going to do as well this back. Okay, this back we are going to do it as well on this pocket. Okay, I do this and I come back. Okay, on the shield I'm going to apply now agarose dunes to simulate light wood. This also will help me to have some contrast with other parts we have here, like these leather straps that is using to hold. Here I'm not too worried if I go over the frame, because we are going to do the frame later on with a metallic color. So we are going to be able to solve this problem. So we just go over everything, and later on we are going to clean up in that case. Okay, we're going to paint them with base colors or with layer colors, so it's not going to be a problem. And you can see that it's helping a lot to see all the details, so we are going to be able later on to pick up the details quite easily. As well, this part here I did a small mistake, so I will use a little bit of, we can use palette witch flash, we can use white, we can use even I use white for priming. I prefer to use palette witch flash because it's closer to the color. Okay, so now I need to wait that this dries, so while that white is drying, we will do this type of blanket a second. This thing is like a blanket he has here, or piece of cloth. Then we have I defined there as well. There are plenty of details. The problem I have is once you assemble these things, and you need to assemble to be able to see, then it's difficult to reach some hidden parts. Okay, this is the problem of this snap-on or push-fit miniatures, that some parts are difficult to access once it's disassembled, but before assembling it's difficult to know what you are painting. So I prefer to paint them assembled, but then you have problems to reach some of the hidden parts. You can see when you do the second layer, the color you get is much darker. Okay, so in the contrast paints you always can play 1, 2, even 3 layers, and you will make the color darker and darker. Of course, the more layers you do, the less effect of contrast you have, okay? Because then you start matching everything to the darkest color. But sometimes can be interesting. You can see, I like to imagine that the shield is made of wood as it used to be in the past. Because if it's made of metal, it's not, I don't think he will be able to handle this shield. Okay, we're going to use the same agaros on the bow and on the arrows. Except the feather of the arrow. Again, difficult access there. But you can see that it's quite fast. You can start having quite nice results. Okay. Next step, I'm going to use the yellow. This is going to be the only color that is not leathery, it's not on the browns. Although yeah, this yellow have a little bit of brown, but we are going to use yellow with orange mainly. We are going to paint this is the one that will have the most yellow of all of the goblins. So we put this on all these ribbons Okay, here I'm doubting if the ribbon is the full handle, so we are going to do like he has put a yellow ribbon as handle of this knife, or this sword I have to say, but it's they're using big daggers, these goblins. We are going to make the cape, what is going to be quite interesting. We'll give quite a bright cape. As you can see, it's quite an orange yellow what we get. So this is a contrast paint yellow called Yanden yellow. Okay, it's quite a nice warm yellow. You can see that you have really this one, you need a very light prime, will not cover any mistake that you have done before, so if you have mistakes, correct them. Okay, we need to go inside to the side. These miniatures can be quite complicated to paint once they are assembled. We are going to do as well, I don't know how it's called this in English, but it's mainly this part here. Okay. And again, there's some parts are not very reachable. Okay, let's do this. So we have to be careful that we don't miss any gap, any part that we don't miss any white part on these parts. There are some mistakes there, and maybe we will dirt the cape. Although he's riding, and most likely the cape is not as dirty as others. Okay, at this point I have quite a lot of fresh contrast. I will wait at this device and I come back. Okay, next step, I'm going to use iron breaker, and we're going to put this on the different metallic parts. This will include as well the small rivets that we have on the armor. Okay, so we are going to do these small rivets. We are going to do the helmet. Okay, and I'm going to do as well the sword. So, and I was forgetting, we need to do the rim of the shield. So I will do all these parts and I will be back for the next step. Next step, I'm going to use now Willwood, contrast Willwood. It's very similar to the Zygor Brown, but this is a little bit more. It's not as red as the other one. It has a little different of tonality, and we are going to do some of these strings that we have, or ropes and things that we have on the goblin. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to do this one. At the end, I was hesitating if I do it in light color or in dark color. I decided at the end to go for a dark color, although the contrast is not going to be that good. And the main reason is because there is a fang there, and I think at the end I want to limit the quantity of light of ochres. So okay, I think I prefer to go for dark. I will do the same on the strings on the shield. Okay, and I will do as well the ones that are holding here the bones. Okay, so we're going to do all these parts. Okay, like that. This one is a fang, so that's this type of rubber goes to here, and then we have this part. Okay, so we are going to do that. I will do as well these things and the handles of the shield, because normally this should be leather, and then we will do later on the here is a little bit tricky because I want to avoid if we didn't we will need to clean up later on. Okay. It's what I said, the mirrors once are assembled, some parts are quite difficult to access. This will make our life a little bit more complicated. Okay, I did a mistake there. It's quite a pain to do these parts. You have the nose of the goblin in the way, and the chin. Okay, so I keep doing that. Then we are going to have, I think, most of the colors put, so we will be able to start doing highlights and details. Have a string. The other thing I want to do with this darker brown is I will add some color variation, so I will do something like that. Okay, so there's one. Like that, and we will go to the back. Like that. Okay. Likely this is made of a tail of another animal, so we do like that, and then here this tail we can do, for example, the bottom of the tail darker. Okay, so I do the other ropes and strings we have on different parts. This is the problem of the contours. You will find from time to time they will run away because they are quite thin, so they will run in places where you don't want them, so we will need to clean up later on. Okay, so the contours only problem that I find is they are more difficult to control sometimes. Okay, so I do that and I come back once it's done. Next step, I'm going to apply non-oil on the metallics. Okay, and the helmet. I want to be careful not to go on the yellow. Because we're here at the bottom. The helmet. You can put a little bit on the here. And now we will do the helmet frame. we see that is falling down, so we are going to remove part of the excess. Okay, and then I'm going to apply, I'm going to use Rift Charger to do the feathers. These are the feathers of the arrows. Here we will need to do something different because this is the handle of the arrow of the bow. Okay, that I forgot to do. You have a small nail. I found a small. Fine, I will do also these feathers. We can also put this on the metallic, don't know because it's not dry. Okay, and now I'm going to use orange wash, it's Fuegan orange, on the yellow. I want to give more orange color on the yellow. Something like that. To avoid the excess, but I want to go for more an amber look. There will be the touch, the bright touch in the goblin. Okay. Now we will wait that all this dries and I will be back. So what I have done now, sorry I had a problem with the camera, I have applied, I got air shade here, you can see on the shield. Okay, I have applied on the helmet, on the armor here and on the sword. On the sword I will apply a second layer. Okay, I want to give this appearance not of rusted. I got air shade will give more appearance of dirtiness. Okay, we can apply it here as well a little bit on this part. But the point is to give additional shading. You know, the contrast paint is giving its own shading, but now I want to give a little bit deeper shading. Then I realized that the orange did not went well in some places, so I will do a second layer of orange, of Fuegan orange, just to try to correct, for example, here that they should have more shading. Okay, and I will do the same here. Good, and now this part. Okay, we wait again that this dries and we are going to be ready now to do the highlights and details. Okay, now I'm going to start working on the highlights and details. So we are going to start with the face, and I'm going to use corn red to do the eyes. Okay, I like to have goblins with red eyes. Okay, we go there. That one is a little bit hidden. Okay, I put corn red, and now I'm going to use orange to give some bright. Okay, I'm going to use in this case double layer orange. And see now the difficulty to reach the face with all the parts assembled. But this should be enough. I'm going to do the teeth now. The teeth we are going to do in two colors. So first I'm going to use, let's have a big teeth. We are going to use first Avalanche Sunset. Okay, I need to go more to the bottom of the teeth. Something like that. We're going to apply a little bit of pinkish color on the tongue. Okay, I'm going to use Tusgore Full for that. Okay, I move this control. I'm going to use this one, Tusgore Full. The same we use for the tongue of the wolf. Okay, something like that is enough. And now I'm going to use valid witch flesh. This is not a pure white. And I'm going to do the tip of the teeth. Okay. Went a little bit out there, so we will use again our sunset. something like that should be good enough. Now we are going to use a lighter green to start highlighting the skin. Okay, and here the option I will use, I'm just checking now. I think I will try this one, Skarsnik green. This will give it's more a whitish green, not as this one, the one we applied before, that is very yellowish. Or we're going to apply this on the nose. And now what we are going to do is to add some highlights with this green. Okay, the chin, here the lip. We're going to know the musculature. Sorry if I what we do, sorry. So if I try to, we have the pre-shading done by the contrast paint. So we just use this shading, these different tonalities, and we go next where we see the lighter colors and we highlight it. Okay. Here on the back of the hand, for example, this part should be highlighted, and we are going to do it more, and I see this part here. Now we do this. And we're going to highlight the fingers. Okay. So like that. The ears. And we're going to do here now the foot was quite dark, so this is why the contrast looks stronger on the foot, on the leg. So what we will do, we'll apply a wash to help to have softer transitions later on. Okay, I realize this is too harsh, but I wanted to get the same tonality as the rest, so I need to do this. Here on the fingers. leg we will need to work a little bit later. First I need to wait that this dries. So while the green on the leg is drying, I'm going to use the Morphin brown and do some highlights on the leather armor. So I'm going to do, for example, here. Okay. Here. The part we can apply more is in this helmet thing. Okay. Here we have this piece. Okay. And we can add a little bit of highlight. Here. We'll add a little bit here on this hair. Okay, this. Okay. Now I'm going to do, as I said, we are going to apply a wash on the leg. I'm going to use Built and Green. We are going to apply this here. To soften. Now we have to be careful we don't touch that. While we'll do the next step. Okay. So in my next step I'm going to do this thing here. I will apply it. Not Zigor Brown, the other one, Willwood. Contrast Willwood. I realize there I miss part. What we're going to do now. It's for the other side, let me see. This part is tricky because it's hidden by the wolf. So you have to be careful that you do both sides and you don't hurt the other parts. So let's highlight a little bit the yellow. We have done, remember, base with contrast, then a wash, and now I'm going to use Irial yellow to do some highlights. As I know, it's more amber than yellow. So for example, this fold. We're going to do it with real yellow. I'm going to do as well this part. Do this. Now I'm going to do this part. Okay. Now we do this part. Here and here. I will do the back. There. And there. Okay. This. Okay. Okay, so yellow is done and we are ready for the next color. So this is now how the yellow looks like. So we think we have a nice and bright yellow. So we're going to do just some fine details and finish the miniature. So I'm going to use a little bit of aggressive shade because I realize in some parts the shade have not been worked as I wanted. So for example here I want to create this white dot. So this is going to be more going to apply aggressive air shade where I think it will help to create shading. Well, here for example inside of this. Okay, I'm just pointing the parts where I want. Here we have a small fan, so we'll put a little bit of aggressive air shade before doing the paint job. I will do it as well here in the earring. Okay, so I can also touch this part here. This part is quite confusing. I'm not sure what it's representing. Okay, and I like how the cape looks like with this orange touch now. Okay, although it's quite harsh, the highlights. So what we can use to smooth a little bit the highlights, we can take a little bit of and use a bright dragon. Okay, now we can go over the darker parts. Okay, put some water there. Okay. We can do it like that. Also, if fry the wagon, the color that needs some help to cover well, and we are going to mix this with Ariel yellow. Okay, we'll take a bigger brush. So we'll work with yellow. Is a little bit tricky to do wet blending because it gets dirty very easily. But this is the idea here. Okay, so we'll use just on these places where I have the feeling that the color transition was too harsh. Now we will use a little bit of the real yellow, the fried dragon bright to smooth. Okay. But there I can leave this hole there, but this transition here is a little bit too harsh. So this is why I'm using this orange to help on the transition and making it smoother. Okay, for example, here in this part here, again, you can see this color is quite transparent. This is why it's difficult sometimes to work with it. Okay, and now we will use real yellow. Yellows, the main problem you can have with the yellows, they are quite transparent colors. So you need patience and working with layers to be able to have smooth transitions. Okay, and then here in the middle, go very soft. See, I put too much yellow, so I will use the orange to help to soften this. We can keep the high contrast where the folds are deep. Okay, the only thing is here I will add a little more yellow. And then we can add some just fried dragon bright next to it. Something like that. And here I will go with a little bit more of yellow as well. You see, we keep doing that. Now on the holes, one that we went a little bit too. I'm going to take orange now. Like that, okay. I think with that the cape is looking quite good. Place here a little bit to soften this part. Okay. Let's go back now to the bone parts and the fangs. So for the fangs, I will use first Baneblade Brown to make them look a little bit darker at the beginning. Okay. Something like that. We're going to do as well the one that is hiding there. And here we have another fang, I think. Okay, and these ones are okay. And then we will use Racker Flesh. Okay, Racker Flesh. We will highlight them. Those were the ones on the shield. Okay. I think that's all the fangs, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, was missing the one hiding there. Okay. Now we're going to use the brown. I'm going to use dark brown. We can use, for example, via bark or Renault's hide. Okay. And I'm going to use the string that is holding. Okay. So I'm cleaning around as well. Here it's okay. The one I put here, I make a small mistake and I went out of the fang, so I will clean up this mistake there. And now I will put a little bit into this. Okay, I think the ones on the shield are okay. Okay, so the only one I was not happy that it was this one. Okay. Okay, with that, now we'll take a light brown. We can take, for example, XV88. We can take. I will take even a lighter one. I will take Valor Brown. And I will especially. I will highlight this. Just to give the sensation of weathered leather. So that here as well. you think the contrast is too high, we always can go on top with keep the 88. The point is to work with different type of browns to help different tonalities. And on the metals we are going to work as well. I'm going to use again Iron Breaker. Don't transform, no. Iron Breaker. We are going to highlight the metal parts. Okay, something like that. Something like that. Now we are going to do especially the exposed part of the blade, where we have the blade, that one has to be brighter, because it will be the part that you try to sharp, right? Okay, let's on the other side. And as you can see, I try to do it with very small strokes that are perpendicular to the blade. Okay. You can do some parts bigger, especially here we have the curvature. Here we'll go smaller. And I try to make it bigger around where we see damage on the blade. Okay, I'll do this one again. Okay, and we are going to do this. Okay, here we do the other side. Okay. And with that we have Rippa painted. So have been quite nice method to paint. So here you have how I paint Rippa with this yellow color scheme. So I hope you have enjoyed the second part. If you want to know how the wolf was painted, please check on the first part of the painting tutorial of Rippa, and here you have the second part done. So as usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye!